So Starmer got hit with some brilliant questions at the news conference with Trump, and he snaked his way out of all of them. This was the first of two questions from a GB News journalist.
Having been in DC for a few weeks, it's really interesting to see how you run the country as a proud Christian leader. And it really begs the question to the Prime Minister, if you don't mind, are we still a Christian country?
Look, I mean, in terms of a Christian country, I was christened, so that is, my church has been all my life. And we are, that is wired into our informal constitution. Of course, we celebrate many other faiths as well, and I'm really proud that we're able to do so as a country.
He had to get that in, didn't he? That we celebrate other faiths. In other words, what he really meant was, no, we are not a Christian country. We are a multicultural country, and Islam is just as British as Christianity. He could have said, while most people aren't practicing Christians, it's still our national religion. Just look around and you'll see churches in every village. This was a second question.
Despite what we talked about in Scotland a few weeks ago, we still have 12,000 people a year here being arrested for social media posts, for free speech violations. Does that not remain an important area that there is still a lot of disagreement on?
I'd like to have you answer that.
And on free speech, that has long lived in this country, free speech. It's one of the founding values of the United Kingdom, and we protect it jealously and fiercely, and always will, and we will bear down on any limits on free speech. I draw a limit between free speech and the speech of those that want to peddle paedophilia and suicide social media to children, and therefore I'm all for free speech. I'm also for protecting children from things that will harm them, paedophiles, those that peddle suicide, which has had a terrible consequence for individual, particularly teenagers. And so that's the balance we strike. But we have had freedom of speech in this country for a very long time, and we will always protect it.
What an absolutely pathetic answer. He's just lying now. She said around 12,000 people a year are arrested for online comments. We've seen countless videos of the Fort Police arresting people over online comments. Clearly, he doesn't believe in free speech. He's happy to have people arrested for speech he doesn't like because he wants to control what people can and can't say. He didn't spout his usual line of the police have operational independence, which really just means I agree with what they say, so I'm okay with it. If he was truly concerned, then he'd step in and get a grip on the police and their procedures. We know he's more likely to be encouraging the police to go further. Finally, he was asked about Palestine.
Mr. Starmer, if you feel so strongly about officially recognizing Palestine for statehood, why are you waiting for President Trump to leave the country? Why can't you just do it right now? And isn't there a risk in rewarding Hamas with that?
Well, let me be really clear about Hamas. They're a terrorist organization who can have no part in any future governance in Palestine. And what happened on October the 7th was the worst attack since the Holocaust. We have extended family in Israel. I understand firsthand the psychological impact that that had across Israel. So I know exactly where I stand in relation to Hamas. Hamas, of course, don't want a two-state solution. They don't want peace. They don't want a ceasefire. So I'm very clear where I stand on Hamas. Okay. On the question of recognition, I made my position clear at the end of July as to the timing, which has got nothing to do with this state visit, and I've discussed it with the President, as you would expect amongst two leaders who respect each other and like each other and want to bring about a better solution in the best way that we can. Thank you so much. Can I go back then to Robert at ITV?
Again, he just swerved the question. He condemned Hamas and then just evaded the question because he knows Trump is pro-Israel and he didn't want to offend him. All in all, it was just pathetic to see someone evade questions and lie like that. It was a disgrace, in all honesty. His whole demeanour was just snake-like.